Many of you are curious how much K-pop idols YouTube channels earn. Or maybe you're not, but now you are because I mentioned it. So we're going to be discussing that in that video. But before we go there, let me just lay down some groundwork so that you understand where these numbers are coming from. Content creators, especially those that are creating content on YouTube or any video based platform, we use different applications or platforms that help us create more content that you like because they give us more insights as to what type of videos get watched more. And then using its AI, it gives us ideas what else we can do. Now, YouTube itself also has those. So these applications and these platforms just sort of add to what YouTube already provides us and also some additional features. And that includes being able to spy on competition because they can generate more data from the competition. Now, two of the most popular applications are vidIQ and TubeBuddy. I use both, but most of the time I use vidIQ. The numbers that you will be seeing are primarily coming from vidIQ, but I also verify them to TubeBuddy, and they're sort of consistent. And then there are other applications like Morning Frame, Tubix, Houdini, Tabular Labs, all of those stuff. Okay. Now, when you see the income, it's usually a range. It's not exact. And that's usually the case when they are spying on competition or looking at the landscape. For example, they will not tell you, oh, this channel earns 1.5 million. It's usually like sometimes, between 1 million to 2 million. Now, there are different factors that could affect where they are going to fall, meaning whether you're going to look at the lower end of the spectrum or the middle or the higher end, one of which is the average watch time. Naturally, if a person or if a viewer watches the video longer, then most likely you are going to get served more ads. So if you're watching just to boost the views, so you're just watching the first 30 seconds, most likely you're going to encounter just one ad, right? But if you're watching the entirety of the YouTube video, then most likely you are going to get served several ads. And so more ads, more money. What you're seeing right now is what we usually see inside YouTube Studio. So the gray area is the typical retention period, meaning this is the average performance of all the videos in my channel, or at least a 28-hour channel, at least the last 28 days. So the line is specific to that video. So when the line is lower than the gray area, it means that the retention is not as good as all the others. If it is above, then it means that it's performing better than the others. Okay, I hope that's clear. So, as I've mentioned, if a person or a user is watching more videos, then the user gets served more ads. So, there's a pre roll, a mid roll, and post roll. Pre-roll is when it is served in the beginning of the video, usually even before the video starts. And then the mid-roll is when it is served in the middle of the video. And then the post is after the video. The longer the video, then the more ad spots the video gets. Okay, this is just a description as to where majority of the money is coming from. So YouTube is saying that usually it's coming from post roll. 42% of the income is coming from post roll, and then pre roll, and then mid roll. Okay. So also, if viewers click on the video, that's higher pay. Or if you finish watching the entire ad, that's higher pay as well. If you skip, it still gets paid after after several impressions. We still get paid, but we get paid more when you click on the ad, or if you take action, or you finish watching the ad. It's just that some ads are actually really long. Okay. Now, you need to know all of those things for you to be able to have a gauge whether should you be looking at the lower end of the range, the income range, or higher or middle. Those information I actually presented to the members only live stream. If you want to join that, I disclose more information there. So, but here I'm going to be providing you basic information. So, as I've said, a more detailed analytics, including the average watch time of the channel, was presented actually to the members only YouTube live stream. Okay, so another thing that affects the income is the geographic location. Of course, ads are customized. So the ads that a viewer from the United States of America does not see the same types of ads seen by somebody in the Philippines or China or Japan. Naturally, those are different. And certain geographic locations actually pay more. And that includes the US. We also hear that it pays a whole lot. The other thing is the type of video being served. So, usually, finance ads that pays more. Again, the type of action that the user is going to be using. If you click, if you finish the entire ad, then most likely, not most likely, but definitely the creator gets paid more. Okay. So this is an estimate. Okay, this is an example. This is Cortis, their YouTube channel. One thing to note about any Hybe label or any Hybe, any act under Hybe is that their biggest disadvantage is that their official music videos will not be found in the official channel of the artist because it goes into the Hybe label main channel. So the videos that you will see in Cortis's channel, those are behind the scenes, sometimes alternative versions of the music videos, but the music videos that goes into Hybe labels. So if you see here, the range is 129,000 to 380,000, I think, 386,000. So that's a pretty big range. Again, for you to know whether you should base it on the lower end, higher end, or in the middle is for you to know their average watch time. Where is the majority of the audience coming from? Are they taking action? Okay. So if you want to see all of those things, you just go to my members only live stream. Okay. So let's go to this. All right. So this is an example of some of the information, more detailed information that I will be providing. The Bangtan YouTube channel, Bangtan TV, again, they don't have their official music videos there. Majority of their subscribers are actually 25 and above, which goes against the narrative that most of K-pop idol groups fans are teenagers. Now, I know that many are going to say, well, they've been around 12 years. Maybe they were teenagers before. They're not anymore. But they've been around 13 years, 12 years, and 35 to 65. Sorry, 35 and above, that's 65% of their audience. Meaning, if you deduct 13 years, they were already above 20 when they started following you BTS. If they have been following BTS since 2013. So does not is not consistent with the claim that most of their fans are immature young females. Okay. The other thing is that it is kind of deceiving because 42% of their fans are coming from Asia. However, if you actually look at it, Asia is an entire continent, and North America in here actually only includes Canada and the US. And 31% of their audience is actually coming from US and Canada. And then Europe is 18%. All right. Now, If we apply everything that I said in the range, so the range of their income is 303,000 to 910,000. But because armies are champions when it comes to watching videos, if you look at the statistics, it's amazing. They really watch from beginning to end. Like you BTS's videos, they're great in retaining their audience. And also, a lot of armies are actually watching the ads. And I know that has been the case for such a long time now because they do want to help BTS in earning more. And so many fans actually don't skip. Okay. So then what you do is you go to the higher end of the spectrum. There is another complication though. VidIQ usually underestimates the earning. So, and we know this because, as I've said, many creators actually use VidIQ. So, we do come together and talk about it. And one of the things that we realized is that VidIQ actually underestimate. So, for somebody like BTS, you go to the higher end of the spectrum because they have a higher watch time, and then you multiply it by three or four, and that's how much they're probably earning. So not probably about near to 4 million a month. Okay. Now the one disadvantage that they have is that they rarely upload. They only have been better in the last year because Jin and J Hope became active, and so they constantly uploaded content. But before that, they were like zero. So that was bad. Okay. So that's for BTS. And then this is Stray Kids. Majority of their fans, 18 and 34 years old, 57 of percent. And then majority of their fans are still coming from Asia, but they do have a huge audience in North America and Europe, 27 and 21. It's actually pretty impressive, their numbers. Okay. So they also do have a high watch time, not as high as BTS, but still pretty good. So it is, so go to the higher end of the spectrum, close to the high end of the spectrum, and then multiply it by three or four. And that's how much they are earning. The other advantage that they have is that they constantly upload. So they're very active, about 6 videos per week. And you can see that in their upload frequency, it says. So about 6 in a week. So the more frequent you upload, then the more sources of income you're getting, then the more income you're going to get. So even though they only have they only have about 22 million, I think, by now, but because they are uploading so much content and then their fans are actually watching it longer, then they actually earn more. So 3 to 4, pretty impressive. And then this is twice majority of their subscribers, 18 to 34, 57%. And then a lot, so majority of their audience still coming from Asia, but they do have their LATAM and their North America audience very, very close, 26 and 27%. Now, they don't upload as often, about 2 to 3 a week. So I would say, but because their fans also watch their content from beginning to end almost, they have a high watch time, average watch time, then go close to the higher end of the spectrum, multiplied by three or four. Okay, I hope that's making sense. Another one would be Cat's Eye. This one is pretty impressive. So they only have about 6 million subscribers, I believe. Let me see that. Yeah, something like that. And then um 13 to 18, that's majority of their audience. That's expected. They are very young and they're a new group. And then majority of their audience is usually like majority is actually YouTube. Sorry, it's actually US. So they earn a lot because a lot of their stuff are actually coming from advertisers. They're coming from the US. So go close to the higher end of the spectrum, maybe go 1.2, 1.3, multiply it by three or four, and that's where you land when it comes to their earnings. Okay, so maybe you're curious how it actually looks like when we're looking at it live on our screen. So I'll show it to you. This is my channel. Let me hide my logo so you can see. Okay, so this is how it looks like when we're checking, or yeah, when we're checking the different YouTube channels that we want to take a close, or yeah, we want to examine. Basically, that's how it appears. Now, if you want to find something else, let's say 17, you just type it up and then go to their, look for their YouTube channel. Okay, maybe 17 there. And then it's just going to appear. There you go. So it's going to appear. Now, it's a platform, so it's not always perfect. Sometimes you'll get this, like views gained, and it's zero. Sometimes you just need to wait several hours, sometimes several minutes. Sometimes you just have to go back to it the next day and it will be okay. So it's not a perfect 100% always perfect, but that's platforms for you. So that's 17. And then if you want to look at, let's see, EXO, for example, just go there and then it'll appear. Just silent. Okay. So there, then you'll see the estimated earning is anywhere between 40K to 119,000. Um, and then this is monthly, and then they upload about 4 a week. And the average video length is 14, and the subscriber rank is they are in the 3,000th mark. Okay. So, and then there are more if you want to look at more statistics. You can see their country is actually South Korea. They've published 774 videos. They have 9.71 subscribers. That's the estimated earnings. The category that they're under is music. This actually plays a huge part. Some channels actually categorize themselves as blog or lifestyle or people or whatever. And then you can see so much more there. And these are the tags that they are actually using. So it's pretty robust. So this is 30 days. You can go 3 months, you can go 6 months, and you'll see the different parameters. Okay. So, and then you can also export that if you want. You can see video, trending videos off the channel. Yeah, I'll show you. I hope that you're actually seeing it. Okay, yeah. All right. So then you'll see like, oh, these are the videos that their subscribers are actually following, actually watching. Okay, so that'll give you an idea on how it actually appears to us whenever we check out the different channels, YouTube channels that we want to see. Okay. So, and then as I've said, all these other things, I will show that I actually showed it to the members only live stream. For Blackpink, also pretty impressive because they rarely upload content, but because they have so many subscribers, I think right now they are at 99 million, almost 999 million, almost a billion subscribers. And they have, am I right? I want to don't want to say here. They are 99 million, almost 99 million. So majority of their subscribers 25 and 34, they've been around a while. That's very much expected. Majority of their audience still coming from Asia, 53%, and they are earning 472,000 to 1.4 million. They have a very short watch time. So one of the reasons they do very well in YouTube is that many of their fans actually make it a point to boost the video by watching only like the first 30, 45 seconds, and then watch, you know, go watch another video before coming back to it. And so they accumulate a lot of views. But as I've mentioned, if you don't watch a lot of the videos, then you will not get served a lot of the ads. So that is their disadvantage. Very, very short retention rate. So go to the lower end. go about 472, multiplied by maybe one or two, and that's where you land for them. So the Blink should actually watch longer and watch the ads. At Tomorrow X Together, this is Tomorrow Buy Together, usually 25 to 34. They've been around a while. This is not really surprising. Majority of their fans still coming from Asia. They do have a considerable North American audience and 8% from Europe. So North America is 19%. And then their monthly income is 119 to 386. They also have a bigger watch time. The average is actually higher. And then they upload a lot. So go on the higher end of the spectrum of their income, multiplied by three or four, and that's probably where you land. Now for 17, usually 35 and above is their audience. Majority is actually South Korea. Now they do upload a lot. And so you go higher end of the spectrum. It's the watch time is not bad, if I remember correctly. So go to the higher end of the spectrum and then multiply it by three or four. So 266,000 is the higher end of the spectrum. Three or four times three or four, that's probably you land where you land. Okay, and hypen, I couldn't generate it for some reason. I can Let me see if I can pull it now. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, no, I still can't pull it. Sometimes if it's not earning enough, sometimes the app isn't able to pull it. For SSERAFIM, they have a very young market, 18 and 35, bigger fan base in US and Canada than South Korea. Now, so they do earn a lot because, as I've said, a lot of ads are actually more expensive in the US. And they do upload a lot. So the range is 189 to 476. Go 476 multiplied by three or four, and that's probably how much they're earning. Right around that range is where they are. And then this is ESPA. Sorry, this is ESPA. Yeah, this is ESPA. And then the range is 193 to 578,000. And then they upload a lot, like about eight. Sometimes I think they upload 10 in a week or something. They have a very young audience, 18 and 25, but majority of them are coming from South Korea. So go to a little on the higher end. The one advantage, as I've said, if the majority of your market is coming from the US, is that's more expensive. The ads are more expensive, so they pay more. In Asia, not a lot. So close to the end, I'll say the higher end. So maybe go 450, 500, multiply it by three or four, still not bad. BABYMONSTER, 296 to 889. They don't upload a whole lot, and they have a low retention rate. So a lot of their fans, I guess it's the same strategy as Blackpink. They watch 30 to 40 seconds just to make sure the views are boosted. So their fans should watch more in order for them to earn more. So I'll say a little, maybe in the middle or lower end of the spectrum, and then multiply it by three or four, maybe three or maybe two. And then it's a range, so it's okay. And then this is IVE. And the range is 257 to 772,000. They upload a lot, for about four a week. The average watch time is not bad. So I would say close to the higher end of the spectrum, 700,000, right around that, multiply by three or four, and you'll probably get close to how much they're actually earning. NCT Dream, around 40 to 119,000, and they upload okay, about two, and they get watched a lot. The watch time is actually pretty good. So go close to the higher end of the spectrum, multiplied by three. So 100 and maybe 100 multiplied by three or four, that's where you'll be. Okay, this is NCT Dream. I did look at EXO, and the range is 58,000 to 173,000. They upload about twice a week. They get watched a lot. So go to the higher end of the spectrum, 173. multiply by 3 or 4, that's where you'll be. Okay. NCT 127, 117. Sorry, 17,000 to 82,000. Am I correct? Yeah, 82,000. They don't upload a lot. Okay. So, but they do have a decent watch time. So I'll say middle or close to the higher end, multiply it by three. So if the higher end is 82, maybe go about, I don't know, 55, multiply by three or four, 55 or 60 or something like that. Okay. And then we have new jeans. So the range is 55,000 to 166,000. They don't upload. So, and they also don't get the watch time. The average watch time is not so good. And so go to the lower end, multiply by three or four, and that's where you'll probably land. So 55,000 times three or four. Okay. Next is red velvet. So the range is 37,000 to 110,000. Pretty decent. Well, not a whole lot of upload. Two in a week in terms of watch time. They're okay, not bad, you know. So go to the middle of the spectrum, multiply by three or four, and that's where you'll be. ITZY. Oh, I wasn't able to pull it. Let me see if I can pull the number now. Here. Okay. I'll show it to you. It's actually showing it now. So this is what I was talking about. Sometimes you have to go back a day or two after, or sometimes it's just minutes. It really depends. So the range is 42,000 to 125,000. And the average upload a week is about five. So that's pretty good. Later, I'll check how much is their watch time. But so maybe go to the middle. I mean, they upload a lot. So go to the middle or close to the higher end, multiply it by three or four, and that's where you should be. Okay. So good. So that actually demonstrates that sometimes you just have to go back after a day or two. Sometimes it's just minutes. Sometimes you just need to refresh. For NMIXX, the range is 19,000 to 57,000. They upload a lot. They upload a lot. And so go to the other end. I can't remember the watch time. Go to the other end of the spectrum, the higher end of the spectrum, close to that, and that's where they will land, I'm guessing. For Big Bang, majority of their market is actually 40 and above, which is actually a very profitable market, by the way. But they don't upload a lot. So it's overwhelmingly Asia, specifically South Korea. So the range is 114 to 431,000. So that's still not bad, right? Because considering they're not really uploading, they're not releasing any kind of music, for them to still earn, VIPs are still going to work. So I'd say go to the lower end of the spectrum, multiply by three or four, and that's where you'll be. Okay. So for Cortis, I've already updated this one. But as I've mentioned, one of the great things about them is that majority of their market is actually coming from the US and Canada. Okay, and then for RIIZE, the range is 34,000 to 103,000. Pretty decent upload, about three. I can't remember the watch time. So maybe go middle or end. And that's where you should be. So 103 is the higher end of spectrum. So probably go 75, 80, or maybe even 85, multiplied by three or four. Okay. And then for ATEEZ, it's 48,000 to 143,000. That's the range. Pretty decent upload a week, about three or four. Can't remember the watch time. So that's your range, 48 to 143. If you're a fan, then maybe you can just believe it's in the highest end of the spectrum. So 143 times four, three or four, and that's where you will land. Okay. And this is IZNA. I love all Are You Next girls. So I follow all of them. I want all of them to succeed. So the range is 16,000 to 49,000. They're a new group. This is not bad at all. They upload about twice a week. So I can't remember the watch time. So I guess if you're a fan, just believe it's 49,000 multiplied by three or four. Okay. And then for Meow, I also like them. And Ella is actually my bias. So the range is 25,000 to 74,000. Also not bad considering they are new. And so go, and then but they don't upload a whole lot. So there you go. That's your range. It's up to you where you want to take it. I can't remember the watch time. And then I did look at some solos. So Solar is actually my bias in Mamamoo. So I look at her statistics sometimes. So about 22,000 a month. Because she doesn't upload a whole lot anymore. She used to at least once a week, sometimes two ads a week. But I do remember that she has like the watch time, the average watch time is pretty impressive. So I'd say go to the higher end of the spectrum, about 22,000 times 3 or 4, and that's where you'll be. Jennie earns about anywhere between 139 to 416. She doesn't upload a whole lot either. So go to the lower end of the spectrum and multiply by 3 or 4. Jisoo is 36 to 108,000, but she uploads a little bit more than Jennie, but still not a whole lot. So go to the lower end of the spectrum. Um, Both of them, they actually don't have. Actually, it's pretty common among YG artists. They don't have a long watch time. Okay, next. You have Loud, which is Lisa, 96,000 to 284,000. She doesn't upload a whole lot. So go to the lower end of the spectrum and multiply by 3 or 4. Okay, so that's it. Sometimes you can just I do this sometimes. I just go here and just check out different channels that I like. I don't watch other channels that are similar to mine, meaning talking about K-pop, Asian entertainment, just because I don't want to get influenced by their content. But I do like checking out channels of different acts, so you can, you know, think about whoever and just type it here and it's going to come out. So I can't think of any right now, but like I don't know, Britney Spears. Let's see if she has a channel. No, she doesn't have a channel. So yeah, oh, Britney, there you go. She has 11.5 million subscribers, and I'm sure that she doesn't upload a whole lot either, but she's earning 124 to 371,000 a month. Once a week upload or sometimes nothing. So I'll say lower end of the spectrum, multiply by 3 or 4. So 120, and still a lot of people actually like watching her. So that's it. I hope that was interesting to you. The timestamps are in the comment section if you just want to jump to your favorite act. And then if there's anybody you want me to check, let me know. I can post it in Twitter. I can post it in the community section. And yeah, the deeper dive will be in the members only live stream. So join us there because we do talk more in detail about certain things there. Thank you so much. You should be seeing a QR code on your screen right now. And please consider donating to the channel. We did launch our online magazine, Asian Entertainment and Culture.com. It's on a soft launch right now, but hoping that by the end of the month or at the beginning of next month is going to be a formal launch. But I would appreciate any kind of feedback, suggestions, recommendations. Appreciate them all. Also, please follow me on IG, on X, but more importantly on Patreon, because that's where the community is. So if you want people to just converse with about music, TV shows, movies, celebrities, or just have fun, that's the place for you. We do have a free tier if you want to try things out. As I've said, please consider supporting me on YouTube membership. I do a once a week live stream and then exclusive videos as well. And that's it. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification button. But the most important thing is for you to recommend us to others. So send the video or a link to the channel to your friends, to your family members, to leave a link on your social media, on your email. That will help. Thank you so much. Till next time.